Joining us now for the final time in 2023, the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports Vertical, Rob the Hockey Guy on Twitter, Rob Williams. Well, Rob the Hockey Guy Wednesday at Rogers Arena.
Yeah.
I saw you were one of the few out for the media skate.
I was, yeah.
Mhm.
I was out I was out gathering research on, which media members can play, which ones can skate. I'm not going to tell you who can't. I guess, the ones that didn't show up, but I don't know that everyone that didn't show up can.
Were you
skate,
hoping to get signed? I thought it was weird that you were the only one in full equipment and everybody else was just in civvies. I mean,
How many scouts were there, Rob?
Not enough. Yeah, no.
Did anyone need those metal bar pusher things to help them skate?
Wow.
Wow. Cool.
My wife, at first she did, but I was the metal bar that she was holding on to.
There you go.
Right.
Good structure.
But she got moving after a while. She got her skating legs back.
Full breakdown of JPat then as a skater and as a shooter, because the snippet I saw,
Yes.
he looked graceful, like Niedermeyer-esque, frankly.
Yeah,
The way he was carving those turns.
he can move. He can. That was typical. He's got a decent shot. I saw some people chirping his hands on Twitter, but no, he can play.
Looked like he was using Willie Mitchell's stick, though. Big long oar.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
You should.
Now PJ was there with his daughter, so we didn't get to see the full extent of.
He didn't
PJ's
open it up.
capabilities.
Yeah,
He didn't. He saved a little bit for next time, I guess.
See Jeff play tennis.
When he doesn't run into a wall.
Well, he's quite a tennis player when he's not, blowing his ACL.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's stick with hockey then before moving on to a major soccer story in Vancouver in 2024. Kuzmenko, the end game. We've been talking all week. Are you team patience or are you team move him now before the asset is further diminished with healthy scratching?
You know what? I think the fact that he seems to have a pretty good attitude throughout this, like it doesn't seem like there's not the trade requests coming in. It doesn't seem like he's pouting. We saw that Canucks video where the players are, fist bumping the guys as they come off the ice, and Kuzmenko is right in there, like, big smile on his face, really thrilled for the guys. So I think that is a good sign that, like, as long as you have someone with a good attitude, you have faith that they'll learn, that they want to learn. And so I think if you have that with Kuzmenko, you have hope that he can turn his game around and play the two-way game that Tocchet wants him to play, or not even necessarily, like, it's not like he's trying to turn him into a Selke Trophy winner. He just wants him not to be a liability out there and to participate in the forecheck, right? So I think because of that, I'm team patience, but it kind of reminds me a little bit about, like, Brock Boeser, to a lesser degree, but a little bit like Brock Boeser last year, where it was like, okay, they start talking about trading him when his value is at an all-time low, right? And it's like, it's not really the time that you want to be trading him. But with that said, what is the end game here? Like, what if he doesn't turn around? What if they deem that he can't coexist with Tocchet? Then the time to move him was yesterday, right?
I think the biggest question is this a Kuzmenko problem, or is this a Kuzmenko/Tocchet problem? Like, is it the players just kind of not in a groove, not playing the way he should, or is it just that he doesn't mesh with the coach? And how much does an opposing team, how able are they to identify that it is that? Because then his asset may not be as diminished as it otherwise is. If a lot of people just think, hey, this is the wrong player for the wrong coach, more so than a slumping player.
Good point. And I think that would, I'm sure there are teams out there that think, okay, he can play in our system, like this will work. But I think the way that, and talk about stock being up and down, like Tocchet's stock has never been higher. If he can't play under Tocchet, he can play for the Vancouver Canucks right now, right? Given the way that he has the group playing. So I think it's definitely a situation that I can sympathize with the coach here. I think where you're trying to get your team to have an identity and to play a certain way, and your forecheck and your down ice pressure, like it does not work if one guy is not participating in it the way that you want. Like you need you need all 5 guys on the ice playing as a unit. And I think that we're seeing the Canucks do that for the first time in like a decade, right? Where there's real cohesion out there on the ice, and you can see that they're all following the same plan here.
Rob, you picked up on it as well. We played the clip yesterday of Rick Tocchet following the win in Nashville on Tuesday. How pleased he was with the defensive effort and how pleased he is with the defensive execution of the Canucks, even going so far as to say, yeah, from time to time we're out of position. But you wanted to comment on that because that's not something we have heard a lot of from Canucks coaches for a long, long time.
I feel like there's moments this season where I'm just like, pinch me. Like, is this real life? Like the Vancouver Canucks are doing this? Like what? Like, just it started off with the wins and all the goals and everything, but like now it's the defensive play. Like remember I think last year their defensive play was probably the thing that just angered me as a hockey fan. Never, it's just watching how terrible and how loose they played defensively. It was so god awful. And to the turnaround now, to see the coach saying that about his team, and he was right. I mean, it was a great team victory. Like they and like I said, playing cohesive, playing as a unit. It's great to see. I mean, and to do it with this defense, coming into the season, I know he was talking about the defensive play of the defensemen and the forwards, but to have the defense that they had coming into the season and people going, oh, I'm not sure what this is going to look like on the ice, and to have the coach talking like that, what a wonderful sign for the Canucks and where they're at this season.
Are they halfway to a playoff spot? In just 33 games?
Pretty well, yeah. I mean, it feels like it. It feels like they're 3/4 of the way there, doesn't it? Like
70 points gets you in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if they're necessarily halfway by the technicality of it, but I think that that they're. I mean, look, they're a point back of first place in the NHL. Like, they are. I mean, they are for real. I mean, I hesitate to say it because we've been disappointed so many times in the past, but this team's for real. Like they can play, and they're playing for this coach, and they've got talent. The defense still makes me a little bit nervous, and you wonder how they'll if they come into bigger injury troubles, like how they can bounce back for something like that. But all things being equal, like this team, I love the way they're playing right now. They're hitting on all cylinders right now.
50 points by the new year, a very real possibility for this team.
Okay, the soccer topic. Messi is coming. Messi is coming, right?
It's funny because I posted this on Twitter, and there's so many people still that are like, well, I don't know if he's coming. Like his team is coming, but I don't know if he's coming. So I did a bit of a dive into looking. I mean, Thierry Henry was a long time ago, and I feel like the scars of that are still like here. People are acting like the big stars skip Vancouver with regularity. Like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, like I saw him play at BC Place. Like I saw Wayne Rooney play at BC Place. Like
David
Beckham,
exactly. And like these guys have not. This has not been a regular thing throughout the Whitecaps' time in MLS. So like to think that Messi's just going to skip it because of those reasons, I think is misguided. And then the other thing about, if we look at what Messi has done since he's been in MLS, he's played in every game that Miami has played, and it's been with rare occasion and understandable occasion, I would say, where he hasn't played the full 90 minutes. Like usually he plays the full 90 minutes. There's only been one time where he didn't play the full 90 minutes for a road match, and that was that was after he'd played 120 minutes like 3 days earlier in the U.S. Open Cup. So I don't think
he got injured with Argentina, and he came back and he missed a couple of games with Inter Miami.
Well,
That
and
was due to
also,
injury.
did he not come off the bench in his very first game
Yes,
with Miami?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, everything is contextualized in terms of games and time that he has missed in MLS.
Yeah, and so he's got a week off before he plays the Vancouver match, and then they do have a short week the next. They have like 3 or 4 days before their next match back in Florida. So there is that, I suppose. But I and Blake, you know better than me in terms of the league helped bring him to MLS. I don't think the plan is that they're going to like load manage him on for road matches.
I think they will load manage him, but it doesn't mean that you won't see him on the pitch at BC Place Stadium. People do need to realize this is a commercial play by the league as a general rule, and not having him play in front of 50,000 fans is not exactly what they had in mind.
Yeah.
They have in mind that he's playing in front of 50,000.
Absolutely. The size of the stadium here and the advanced tickets, I think, absolutely put the heat on Miami and Messi to play. And I think the point Blake made yesterday, a lot of these soccer-specific stadiums in the U.S. are great, in some cases preferred by supporters, but they're 25,000 seat parks. There's 2 stadiums in the league where you can really do gate, Seattle and Vancouver, right? With a visiting attraction like Messi.
Yeah.
Were you guys surprised that Miami was on the schedule? Because I think the conspiracy theorists were out on like the MLS doesn't, Canada doesn't get the gravy very often, right?
Right.
Like,
I think Vancouver is the lowest priority market for MLS. But I'm also not surprised because rotationally they were due to come play here in Vancouver after never playing here.
My theory
before.
was that they might kick it to next year in hopes that it would be grass. Like, again, I've got no inside scoop that they're going to do a test year on grass, but that's my hope is that in advance of the World Cup, they put grass in for 2025. And I thought, maybe they try to kick it one more year so that they know he'll play on grass. But alas, here we are.
And that's one other thing, guys, that I know people are really I don't know, slightly paranoid about in Vancouver is that the Stars don't want to play on artificial turf. Messi's comments, I don't know if everyone caught it last August, where he just went on and on about how he has no trouble playing on turf. He grew up playing on artificial surfaces and basically just squashed all of that, right? Where I thought those comments were great. And he also did play a match in Charlotte on an artificial turf last season as well. So that's another good sign.
And you're right about Thierry Henry. Everything about his MLS experience was miserable. He had an awful attitude. He was the bah humbug guy, so he is the outlier.
Yeah.
And we hope that Messi plays ball in all markets next year. Because let's face it, this is soccer's last frontier, this continent, and really 2 of the 3 countries in this continent. So this is his opportunity to make an impact in the sport beyond what he has already made. Rob, Merry Christmas to you and Chelsea. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks to everyone over there at the Daily Hive and Offside for the collaboration again this year. I look forward to talking to you in 2024.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Merry Christmas, guys.
This clip brought to you by Betway. Must be 19 plus to play. Please play responsibly.